Great. There we go. So welcome. Welcome. Glad you all made it, found parking. Welcome everybody at home. Take a couple breaths in. We're going to take those cleansing sighs. We're going to inhale deep through the nose. Let it go with a sigh. And again. Just so we can feel that we've made it and kind of releasing that surface tension that we kind of bring into just making it on time. And go ahead and find the front of your seat, kind of scooch your seat forward just a little bit and then scooch the feet forward so that your ankles are underneath your knees so that you feel stable in your seat. You just rock forward just a little bit. You feel yourself rocking with that pelvic bowl. And you feel the heart lift just a little, just so that the front of the body is open, especially between the ribs and the pelvic bowl. And then roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Take another deep breath in and let it out. Let those elbows hang below the shoulders. And see if you can get your ears over your shoulders a little bit. And feel yourself arriving into your practice space. Just kind of letting everything else go. The parking, the getting the things ready, getting here on time. You made it. It's always your practice, whether you're in that space you think you should be or not, it's still your practice. We're just gonna close the eyes for a minute, feel a little centering, feeling stable through the feet and the seat. And checking in with the mind and the heart right now. Noticing what's here. Notice the attitude of mind and heart. Notice the thoughts that are underlying your present moment awareness. Just kind of gently let them go as you acknowledge them, so you don't get overly sticky with those thoughts. So you can stay here with your breath, with your body. It's just always good to know where we're starting from. That way we know if our energy is feeling low, if the heat is getting to us a little bit, it is the afternoon, or maybe some emotion is here and you can feel it in the body through a sense of tensing or bracing. So notice if anything like that is going on in the body right now. See if you can't gently breathe and bring in space into the body. Nice, gentle breath. You're not forcing your breath to be a certain way. Just filling the body with space and a little bit of uplifting presence. And every exhale, you feel your feet and you feel your seat. And check in with the body. Let your awareness go to spaces that need your attention in your practice today. Perhaps it's the shoulders or the hips or the low back. Maybe something's going on in one or both feet. What needs your extra care during your practice today? And this is where you give yourself permission to commit to the deeper practice of not doing something that may not be wise for your body. You can still take in the information, still breathe in the moment. So give yourself permission to do that. A deep breath in again through the nose. And let it go one more time. And open the eyes. Today we're going to do a version of something I've developed called the bone density practice. So what this does is it's the yoga we usually do, just in a little different focus. We're not going to do any forward folds through the entire practice today until the very end. This way we engage the core. We're more aware of lifting the spine out of the pelvic bowl. And when we engage the core more, it strengthens your spine. Okay, so the two places of bone density we're working on today is the vertebra, all of those bones that make up the joints of our spine, and the femur bones, which especially we're working on stabilizing the hips, because these are the two weakest points in the body where you usually lose bone density first. So that's what we're focusing on. So at the end of practice, you're going to welcome that forward fold because you're not going to do it the whole time during class. So let's bring our hands to our heart, thumbs at the chest. And we're just going to warm up the shoulders a little bit and feel some length, especially between your rib cage and your pelvic bowl. That's the lumbar spine that gets the most compressed. Okay, so you're going to root into your feet. You're going to inhale the arms out and up. Let the arms go up. You could raise the gaze if that feels okay. Exhale, hands come together and hands come to the heart. We'll just do this a few times. Inhale slowly out and up. That nice even breath. And exhale, feeling your feet and feeling your seat. That nice tall spine. Just going at your own pace with your breath. And if 2 breaths for this whole thing, this movement is what you need, that's what you need. We're focusing on the uplift, the lengthening of the spine, and kind of opening up and mobilizing the shoulders a little bit. Let that breath come in gently without rushing it in. That might mean that you slow down your movement if you feel like the breath is rushed and gasping. So just be careful of forcing your breath too deeply. Do what feels right for you. Good. We're going to add a twist to this. So we're keeping the spine tall. So you're going to inhale the arms out and up. You're going to exhale and just do a gentle twist of your heart to the right and let your arms flow down, but keep that spine tall. Inhale, rotate back to center as the arms raise up. Exhale, do a gentle twist to the other side. Keep your heart lifted, keep your gaze lifted. Inhale, rotate back to center. Exhale to the other side. Now, if the arms or the shoulders are really talking to you here as you're inhaling to center and exhaling to the twist, let the arms go and just let the body, the rib cage, move along with your breath. So take care of your shoulders and your arms. We want to get those shoulders warmed up. We want to feel that gentle twist in the spine. That's going to come back in other poses. Right. So you're going to go ahead and finish with that twist to the left. Inhale the arms up, go back to the center, and exhale the hands to your heart. Let your shoulders rest and feel your feet and your seat. Just breathe gently. Bring in space. So we're going to engage your core a little bit while strengthening the thighs. So I'm going to encourage you to either hold on to your seat or hold on to the back of the chair if that's accessible for you. Okay, your feet are hip distance apart. Your ankles are underneath your knees. And we're going to do marching with just the heels first. We're going to keep the toes on the ground. So you're going to inhale, lift the left heel up. I'll be your mirror. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, lift the right heel up. Exhale, set it down. Let me scoot back so you guys at home can see me better. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, set down. So you're going to engage those calf muscles a little bit, maybe give them a little extra squeeze as you lift that heel up. And if you feel any cramping, let it go. We're just marching and we're keeping our core nice and strong. So you're keeping the spine nice and tall, rocked slightly forward on your sit bones, the heart shining forward. And you feel your lower core working as you start to move your thighs. Good. So kind of finish that off with the left heel and then the right heel. And then rest. So you can take this further or continue to lift the heels at any time if that feels better. We're going to start lifting the whole leg. So you're going to inhale, just lift up the your left foot a little bit. Feel that thigh. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, lift the right. Exhale, feel it down, put it down. You feel those thighs working now? Doesn't matter how high you're lifting. You want to keep your spine tall because you might feel your spine begin to round in the back body, especially in the lumbar spine. We want to keep the spine tall as we're marching. So this is engaging the core as well. Okay, good. So getting those thighs warmed up here. Good. So one more time lifting up the left. And one more time, lifting up the right, and we'll plant our feet firm. All right, so you can continue doing any one of those versions that you feel good so far, or you can go a little further. So we could lift up the left leg and stretch out the knees. I'll turn to the side so you guys can see. And then bend the knee and set it down. And then go to the other side, lift up the leg, go ahead and reach through your heel or point your toe, whatever feels good. And set down. Notice what your spine's doing while you're moving. Doesn't matter how high you're lifting these legs. It can stay low. Keep breathing and keep that spine taut. Keep lifting up the heart, lifting your gaze, whatever feels good for you. You're going to have the strongest, most stable hips when you're done. Good. Nice. So one more time, lifting up that left leg. And one more time, lifting up the right. And set both feet down. Good. All right, we have one more. You could continue just doing what we just did if that feels better for the body. Or you can add a little bit. So this is a version of seated Utita, never mind. It's just hand to toe pose where you lay on the floor and you lift your leg up. So we're not getting on the floor, but we want to give a nice stretch to the back of the thigh, but we want to strengthen the hip. Anything that supports the hip bowl, right? Strengthen the femur bone. So here you go. Are you guys ready? Go ahead and lift that left leg up, stretch it out, reach through your heel, move to the side, move it back over, and down. Now, it doesn't matter how high you lift. The most important thing is that spine is tall. So you could slide the heel forward and put the heel on the floor and move it out to the side and move it back. So you can go any version. We're just doing the left side for now. You don't have to move that leg out very far. It's a lot of work. So be nice to yourself. Maybe alternate. We're just doing the left side. Okay, reaching through the heel, moving it out to the side a little bit. Feel that strength happening. One more time, whatever feels good for you. And rest. So pause here, breathe. Feel that work you've done. Feel that energy. Feel that release after you stop. And then we're going to do the other side. So you're going to lift up the right foot. Go ahead and stretch it out, move it to the side a little bit, and come back in and put the foot down. Make sure your low back is safe here. You don't have to go too far. You can stretch out the heel on the floor, move it out to the side, come back in and put the foot down, or lift up just a little bit to the side. Come on in, come back down. You can have nice, strong, stable hips. This side's always a doozy for me. Ooh, there's always one side, right? There's always one side that's like, Good, do it one more time and let it go and just pause. Maybe release a sigh to release some tension. Hands on the thighs, just noticing. Feel the result of that work. Let's give our thighs a nice pat, starting all the way from the hips and going towards the knees and coming back. Yeah, just to release some tension. Good. Lovely. So we're going to go ahead and bring our feet together. We're still sitting a little forward in the seat. Bring our feet together, bring our knees together. You can hold on to the chair if that feels comfortable. Keep that spine lifted, keep the heart lifted. And then we're going to do that butterfly movement because we want to feel rotation, okay? So you're kind of spilling the knees out and coming back in. So inhale, the knees rotate out, the thighs rotate out. Exhale, they come back in. Kind of rolling onto the sides of the feet. It doesn't matter how wide you are. Be nice to your feet. Don't force anything. I just want you to feel this inner and outer rotation of your hip joint, okay? Just want you to get familiar with that. See what's reasonable in your body. Good. And we'll do one more set of rotation movements. So bring the thighs back together. Then you're going to walk your feet slightly wider than hip distance. You're going to feel your feet kind of rotate out, if that kind of match the angle of your knees from your hips, right? And we're going to do windshield wiper knees. So it doesn't matter how deep you go, but I want you to feel inner and outer rotation on each side. So kind of roll to the inner and outer side of the foot. The knees go one way. You're sliding in your seat and kind of roll to the other. So it doesn't matter how deep, you're just rolling on the feet. So you're feeling this inner and outer rotation of your thighs. Don't make it a big deal. Nice and gentle. Because this is going to be what we're working on in those poses that you are familiar with, that we have to have inner and outer rotation of each leg. Good. How does that feel in the body? Then you know how far you should be going. Keep breathing a couple more times, side to side. Just getting curious about what's here in the body. And then come back to center. Good. Get those feet back to being hip distance apart. Bring your ankles slightly behind your knees to help yourself come to standing. So we're going to stand up using our core strength, trying to keep the spine as tall as we can. So we want to focus on that half hinge. So it's almost like a half forward fold, but the spine doesn't round. All the articulation happens in the hip joint. So we'll practice this. So what you're doing is you're leading with your heart, coming just a little bit forward, and then leaning back. Feel that core working, coming forward, maybe leaning back a little more off the midline. Feel that low core working, keeping your spine tall. It's your pelvic bowl that's rotating, and the spine is going along for the ride without articulating. So we're not rounding the spine. We're feeling our core work to help us rock, to keep your center, to keep you stable. Good. We're going to use this movement to come to standing, okay? So take an inhale as you lean back. Exhale as you come forward. Push your hands into your thighs or use whatever is helpful to come to standing. Good, using that core. Nice. I'm going to turn my chair to face you guys. You're going to step to behind your chair so that you're standing behind the back of your chair. Lovely. So you're going to first take your feet out just one step out from the midline a little bit. Okay. And then put your hands on the top of your hip bowl. And I'm going to move my chair so you can see we're just doing that movement of rotation of the hip bowl around your thigh bones here. And you might feel the low back get involved. Notice if you've stopped breathing, keep that breath flowing. How did I know? Because I stopped breathing. Usually when I tell you guys to breathe, it's because I need to take a breath. So I'm cueing myself too. So go in the opposite direction with these circles. You're just noticing the more we move in this way, the more we get that beautiful lubricant in the hip sockets to activate, kind of loosening up the hips a little bit. Okay, good. And come back to center. So I'm going to put my chair back in front of me. Now you're going to take your feet a little wider, just as wide as you feel comfortable. Okay, and that chair is going to be right here for you to hold on to with one or either hand. And you're going to take this left side. I'm going to be your mirror. You're going to take that left thigh and rotate it outward. So I'm spinning on my heel so that my toes are facing the wall to the left and my knee is facing. It's outer rotation of the thigh. You've already been doing it, right? And then you're going to inwardly slightly rotate the right thigh. So pick up that back heel and rotate that thigh inward. Feel your pelvic bowl slightly move to the left. Here comes that twist we did before. Rotate your heart back towards your chair. Even though your hips are going one way, your heart's gone another. And then you're going to bend this front knee. So the knee's not going to go past your ankle. If you feel like the knee's going past your ankle, scoot those toes forward. Yes, scoot them forward. Keep that heart facing your chair. So warrior two pose, right? We've done this plenty of times before. So if you feel comfortable raising your left arm, you can do that. Turn your head to the left. So your head is rotated away from the heart. If you feel like you want to raise the back arm, the right arm, you can turn your head to find that back arm and then rotate the head back to the left. Okay, we're just going to move with a few breaths here and then we're going to hold for a magical 30 seconds. So as you inhale, straighten the knee, raise the arms up if that feels reasonable. Rotate your head to the center. Exhale, bend the knee and bring the hands back down to shoulder height. So moving with your breath, one or both arms, inhaling up, exhaling. So you're rotating the head, giving some nice movement in your neck, right? Good. A couple more times here. And then we're gonna hold our warrior two pose. So stay here once you get to warrior two and bring your awareness down to your feet. Your heart is shining forward, your head is rotated to the left. If your arms are starting to really talk to you, bring your hands to your hips or to your chair at any time. We're focusing on the feet and creating length in the spine. So you root down through your feet and feel your rib cage start to elevate up a little bit away from your hip bowl. You're engaging your core. Okay, keep breathing. Don't hold your breath here. So this is that study. Some of you have taken this with me before. When you hold certain poses in this study for 30 seconds, it has been proven to increase bone density. Isn't that awesome, you guys? Go ahead and bring your hands back to your chair. Straighten that knee. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring your feet forward, and you're going to go ahead and take a step over to move to the right so your hand can touch, your left hand can touch the back of your chair. And then you're going to take that wide-legged stance again. So you want to be able to reach that chair. I'm going to put my left foot behind the chair so that the chair is here for me. We did this last week. It's triangle pose. So again, rotate that thigh outward. Left thigh rotates outward, toes facing the left side of the room. Pick up that back right heel, rotate that thigh slightly inward. Take your hips along with you. Same stance as warrior two. Now we got to rotate the spine. So move your heart forward. Good. Now you can have some softness in this front knee. It doesn't have to be completely straight. If you feel like you need to give this inner thigh and the back of the thigh a little break, you can bend this knee a little bit. But what we're going to do is move these hips a little bit. So I call it swinging the bells of your hips, right? Getting sassy hips. Like we're just moving the hips, very similar to that warm up we did, right? You feel your femur bones move a little bit, your thigh bones move as your hip bone moves. This is how we're going to do our triangle pose. You can always hold onto the chair with your left hand. Swing your hips over to the right. You feel the hinge in the left hip right here? Do a little teapot pose. Keep that heart facing forward. You can even soften that knee. Inhale, root into your feet and feel your core turn on as you come back up. Exhale, swing the hips over to the right and tip and teapot pose to the left. And then inhale, come back up. So you can keep moving in this way, or you can add arms. You can raise both arms up or put the left hand on your chair, whatever feels comfortable. Take a nice inhale, exhale, swing those hips over to the right, kind of reach to the left and tip. And then inhale, root into the feet and feel your core turn on as you come back up. Exhale, swing those hips over, reach over and tip. You don't have to go too far. And then inhale, come back up. We're gonna hold the pose now, just as long as it feels comfortable for you. Swing those hips, go ahead and tip. You can hold onto your chair. This top arm does not have to be here. You can bring that hand to your hip, but your heart is shining forward. Root into your feet. Push your feet into the floor. There's a rebound energy that happens, right? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So you root into the feet and that energy comes right back up through the spine. So imagine your spine really tall. You're having length between the rib cage and your hip bowl. Good, inhale, root into the feet and slowly bring yourself back up. Take a nice exhale and let your feet, your toes swing forward. Bring your legs back, come back to standing behind your chair and pause right here. Notice what's happening in the body. That was just one side. We gotta do the other side so we can find our way to our car without going in circles, right? So we gotta do the other side. So again, legs become wide apart, as wide as you feel comfortable. We're gonna do everything to the right now. So we're gonna rotate on that right heel. That thigh rotates outward, okay? Doesn't matter how wide your feet are, just what feels comfortable. And then you're gonna rotate your hip bowl a little bit because that back thigh is gonna rotate inward. So what I usually do is I pick up that back heel, swing that thigh around, and then drop my heel. I don't go very far, right? My toes are still somewhat facing forward. It's what feels good in your body. What it does is it helps seat the top of that femur bone in your hip bowl when you rotate, and then you feel it anchor. Turn your heart, do the twist, turn your heart back towards your chair. Feel that little twist happening? Don't overdo. Bend that front knee, make sure it's not going past your ankle. You can always scooch your toes forward. Your shoulders stay right over your hips for this. You can hold on to the chair with your left arm, raise the right arm first and turn your head. See if this is reasonable. Head's turning away from the heart. You can lift up that back arm if that feels comfortable. Keep breathing here. We're gonna move with the breath. So as you inhale, straighten the knee, the arms float towards the head, rotate the head to center. Exhale, rotate the head to the right, gently bend the knee, bring the arms down. Hold on to the chair as much as it feels good for you. Inhale up and exhale down. Good. Keep that breath flowing nice and easy. Let's do that one more time. Then we're gonna come into our warrior two pose, and we're gonna hold this pose. So make sure the arms are comfortable, the shoulders are comfortable. You can bring your hands to your hips at any time or hold on to the chair with one or both hands. Feel your feet move into the floor, like you're pushing the earth away. And we wanna feel the spine rising out of the hip bowl, the pelvic bowl. We wanna create space. What we're doing is creating space in your lumbar spine. So we're activating the core. The core's lifting the rib cage up in the front and the back of the body. Keep breathing. Nice. Go ahead and bring your hands to your chair. Straighten that front knee and move your hips a little bit. Let's bring the hands to the hip thigh joint if that feels okay. I want you to feel your hip bowl move, your thighs move too, to seeing the play that you have here in the sassy hip pose. Okay. Because yoga teachers make up all the poses all the time. This is Sassy Hip Pose. So you're going to swing those hips over to the left. You feel the hinge in the right side, and you do a little tip. Teapot pose. Keep that heart facing forward. Inhale, root into the feet, dial yourself back up. Exhale, swing the hips over to the left, tip towards the right. You can soften that right knee a little bit, and inhale, come back up. You can keep doing teapot pose, or you can add arms, one or both arms, whatever feels comfortable. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, swing the hips, reach over and do a little tip. You can hold on to your chair. I didn't have us move. I apologize for that. Inhale, come your way back up. Usually I have us move over. Exhale, swing those hips to the left, reach to the right, and tip. You can hold on to your chair for balance. Inhale, come back up. This time we're gonna hold the pose. So swing those hips over to the left, reach a little bit to the right, come into the pose. It doesn't matter how deep you're going, okay? It matters is that you're finding strength in the lower body by moving the feet into the floor, and you're feeling this uplift. I want you to feel the length of your spine. So it's whatever feels comfortable for you, okay? Keep breathing. That hold is going to help us find some strength in the core and in the lower body. Next, inhale, root into the feet, come on back up. Exhale, bring the hands to the chair. Swing those toes forward, heels back, and then slowly walk the feet together. Oh, they're so happy when they get to be next to each other. Sorry, I didn't have you guys move over a little bit for that. And just pause here. Notice the work you've done in the body. So take a moment. You can close the eyes or keep the gaze low, but the heart lifted. And really get a sense of how that landed in your body, so that you know how to care for the body as you move forward. So there's no forcing, there's no striving. You're moving through the invitation of the body. Lovely. So you're going to pick up your chair and you're going to rotate the seat to the left. And then you're going to turn and face forward so that the left side, the left hip is at the back, right at the back of your chair. Lovely. So we're going to do a little warrior one pose and then add the tree pose to it. So place your right hand on your hip. I'm turning to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm stepping back with my right foot, not a huge step, just what feels comfortable. And I'm dropping my heel slightly towards the midline of my body and then bending my front knee. So my hips are facing forward, my shoulders are facing forward, my knee's not going past my ankle, okay? Now we're gonna draw circles in this sand. Doesn't matter how big they are. What you're doing is shifting your weight forward, holding onto your chair, and as you rise up, you're drawing that circle in the sand with your toes on the right side. Lift that thigh up and set it down, set that foot down. And we're gonna keep doing that. Same side, step back with that right foot, drop the heel down just to feel solid, bend that front knee. And then when you feel comfortable, shift forward and draw that circle, lift that thigh up and set the foot down. Let's do it again. Stepping back, dropping the heel, bending that front knee, take a breath here, and then shift forward, draw the circle, lift the thigh up and set it down. So this is a lot about coordination and proprioception. This is how we navigate ourselves through life and not fall, because that's all about your bones too, right? So what we're gonna do at the end of this is Landon tree pose. So go ahead and step back with that right foot, drop the heel, and then draw that circle in the sand. Let that thigh come up, rotate the thigh outward, and plant your toes either on the ground or on your ankle. So see what feels reasonable to you. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Maybe one of your arms grows a branch on the tree, maybe both arms. We want to root through the standing legs. So root down, rise up. right? Length in your spine. You want to get taller. Keep breathing. Are you holding your breath? So keep breathing. Trees breathe. Thank goodness for us. Keep breathing here. All the things here. Core is activated. And that standing leg is getting stronger. Good. Go ahead and float that foot down. Float your arm down. Land in your mountain pose and pause right here. Feel. Find your breath. Was all that okay for the body? And then we're going to do the shakeout, right? Shake out, wiggle those legs, wiggle those feet. So important to release tension, not only in the body, but energetically in your nervous system as well. This is how we do it. Good. All right, so you're going to face the back of your chair because you're going to flip it around to face the opposite direction. So you're going to walk all the way around. Your seat's going to face right. And then you're going to rotate to face forward again. So you're turning to face me. Yeah, there you go. Turning to face me so that your right hip is next to the back of the chair. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. Place your hand on your left hip. Step back with that left foot. It goes straight back. It's not behind the other foot. Drop that heel slightly down the midline and bend that front knee. And then you shift forward, kind of trace a half circle in the sand, lift that thigh up, and set it back down in mountain. And then we do it again. We step back, bend that front knee, drop that back heel down, shift forward, and do the circle. Let's do this a few times. Good. So it's all the things we've already done, the leg moving out to the side, lifting up the thigh, everything we did in our seat already. Let's do that again. All the way out, standing up. Good. We're going to plant our tree at the end. So step back with that left foot, drop the heel, bend that front knee. Feel strong here first. And then when you're ready, draw that circle, lift that thigh up, rotate that thigh slightly outward. So I'm going to turn to the side here or turn to face you and have your toes either on the ground or on your ankle. Lift the gaze, lift the heart, let your arms support you in your tree or hold on to your chair, whatever feels comfortable for you. You can always tap down, find some roots. Rise out of your structure. Notice if you're sinking into your hips, right? And you can feel that. We do that out of habit. Push down through the standing leg, rise out of your structure. Visualize your spine getting taller. Visualize your rib cage lifting. Keep breathing. Maybe smiling. Just a little. Don't smile too much. You gotta smile a little bit. Good. Nice. 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and float that foot back down. Come back to your mountain pose. Pause. This is where we begin to notice the shifts in the energy in the body. Yeah, that's the first thing we want to do is release it, right? So let's release it. Release it in a way that feels good to you, shaking it out. If only we all did more of this, just like the animals, the yawning and the shaking, just like the animals, that's how they release nervous energy, when they do the yawning and the shaking. Yeah, so we need to do that too. All right, so go ahead and turn and face the back of your chair. We're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So standing locust pose to strengthen the back of the spine, all those postural muscles in the back of the spine. When we activate all those muscles, they put pressure on the bone. And when you put pressure on a bone, it increases bone density because your bones need pressure and weight to be activated to create bone. Okay, so hands are going to be on the back of the chair. Your feet are hip distance apart. So it's going to be tiny little back bends here. You're going to do opposite arm, opposite legs. You're going to Go ahead and inhale, raise the left arm forward and up and slide the right foot back. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, come back down to mountain pose, bring the arm down. And then do the other side. Inhale, right arm up, left foot back. Exhale, come back to mountain pose. So keep going with your breath. That's really important. You can lift your heart a little bit. You're going to feel that little bit of a back bend. Don't overdo. Be kind. Maybe you need to reduce your range of motion a little bit in the shoulder or in the hip to support the back of the spine. Just a little bit. Good. All right. So the next time that left arm is raised and that right foot is back, the toes on the floor, you're going to stay here. So this is another balance pose. And you're lifting your heart, lifting your gaze just slightly. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Take another inhale here. Exhale, slowly come back down. Release that hands to the chair. Take a breath. Rest here. See how this feels in the body. And you're going to do the other side. So slide the other foot back, the left foot back. Raise the right arm up. Lift the heart. Stay right here. There's a lot of work going on in the body right now to stabilize your spine, to help you balance. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Take another inhale here. Exhale, slowly bring that foot back and hands down. Pause. Stay right here. Notice how that landed in the body. Don't rush past the result of your actions. Lovely. So you're going to pick up that chair and face the seat forward like the beginning of class. So go ahead and do that. Face that seat forward to face me. And then we're going to walk in front of our seats. Plant ourselves. We're going to do a little release. So have your feet a little wider than hip distance apart. This way we can also glance back there and make sure our chair is still there, right where we left it. Soften your knees because I want your knees to be happy. Practice lifting up one heel at a time. Okay, and then we're going to do a little twist. So go ahead and rotate the body, swing your arms to the right, lift the left heel, and then swing through the center, lift the right heel. And as you're moving back and forth, just gently breathing with a rhythm that feels good, kind of let those arms sweep. You're looking at your chair, so you know where it is. That's right where you left it, okay? And just swing back and forth. A nice little release for the spine, getting some energy moving before we sit down. This is a really good little exercise to do if you've been seated for a long time. Getting that energy going again. Good. Come back to center. Bring your feet back to hip distance apart. Turn and make sure your chair is still where you want it to be. Remember that little tiny half forward fold without rounding the spine. That's what we're going to do on the exhale. So place your hands on your thighs. Take a nice inhale. Lengthen your spine. As you exhale, soften the knees. Hinge in the hips a little bit, and then bend the knees a little more, and then find your way to your chair. Lovely. And bring those feet back in front of you. Scoot forward in your chair, just like we did at the beginning of class. Bring your feet together and thighs together. So we're going to do side angle pose, but seated. We've done it before. So you're going to take that left leg, you're going to open the gate. Get that heel right underneath your knee. Doesn't matter how wide you moved, it's what feels reasonable, okay? So doesn't matter about the angle, but here's that twist again in the spine. You rotate your heart forward so that your heart is facing the inside of your right leg, okay? So you feel that little twist in your spine. Feel that uplift. Find the uplift in the spine. Okay, so you're going to place that forearm on your thigh. So flip that palm up and over and let the right arm kind of dangle. Roll out that shoulder a little bit. See if there's any tension in there. Yeah, Good. Inhale that arm forward and up if it feels reasonable. Exhale to the side as you move that forearm towards your knee. Inhale, root into the feet and come back up. Feel the core having to work. Exhale to the side. Keep doing that with your breath. Inhaling up, exhaling to the side. Root into the feet when we come up to feel that energy come up into your core. Good. You're inhaling back up and then you're going to exhale to the side and you're going to stay there. So maybe not your biggest side angle pose, not your biggest lateral shift. Make sure you feel comfortable. If this top shoulder, if this top arm is done, bring either the fingers to your shoulder or bring your hand to your hip. You still have that length. So what we're looking for here is kind of lifting up the shoulder if your arm is overhead, and you want to find length between your rib cage and your hip bone. So you're lifting the spine as it moves over to the left. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. If you are having trouble finding the breath, you've gone too far. Dial it back a little bit. Good. Root into your feet. Push your feet into the floor. Feel that energy. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, float that arm down and let the gate close. Feet together, knees together. Pause right here. Check in with the body. Keep breathing. So important. Lovely. So we're going to do the other side. You're going to open up the gate on the right side. That heel is right underneath your knee. Doesn't matter how wide, right? And then you're going to rotate the spine just a little bit so that the heart is lined up with the inside of your left thigh, okay? And then you're going to take that right arm, kind of flip it over, let the forearm rest on your thigh, palm facing the sky, and kind of roll out and dangle that arm a little bit. Roll out that shoulder. Good. And then when you're ready, inhale forward and up. Exhale just a little bit to the side to begin with. Root into the feet. Inhale, come back up. Feel that core working. And then exhale to the side. So every time you want to come up, move into the feet first and then come up so that you can feel your core working, especially these oblique muscles right here in the side of your abdomen, helping you come back up, right? Moving with your breath. Next time you move over to the side, be gentle with yourself. Keep lifting the heart just a little bit. Make sure that that arm and that shoulder's happy. If you need to rest that arm or shoulder, take those fingers to the shoulder or take your hand to your hip. Keep lifting through your heart. We want to find length in the left side of the body. Keep rooting into the feet as you do that. So imagine space between your rib cage and your pelvic bowl as you breathe. Good. And as you inhale, slowly come back up. Exhale, release that arm. Close the gate, feet staying together, thighs staying together. Pause right here. Get those ankles again underneath your knees. Still forward in your seat, nice and tall. So whenever we do a deep twist, especially for seated, it really impacts your lumbar spine. So the number one way we degenerate our spine is by being seated, twisting with a load. Like at a desk and you're picking up books and binders, or in a car when we're seated and we're twisting and we're adding a load, like setting a package or a purse down. That's the number one way our spine starts to go downhill, right? But those are just natural movements we do. So we want to visualize space before we do a deep-seated twist. You want to visualize your lumbar spine. It's the spine that's between your rib cage and your hip bowl. So you want to lengthen it. So I want you to feel the length coming out the top of your head as if a string is drawing you up, lifting the rib cage up, taking the spine with it, creating a little more length right here in the center of your torso. but not doing it so intensely that you can't breathe. So make sure you're still breathing. And it's from this open space that you want to do a twist. So here you go. You can take your left foot, you can keep both feet together, knees together, or you can take your left foot and cross it over your right ankle. Keep the thighs rotated inward. Or if it's okay, your doctor says it's okay to cross the legs, you can take that left thigh and put it over the right thigh. I'm going to be your mirror. See if that's okay for the body. Again, you have to keep reminding yourself, lift, 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 right? Lift, lift, lift. So right hand on the left thigh, so it crosses the midline, and take the left arm back behind you to hold onto your chair. We're going in and out 3 times, holding on the last one. So take an inhale. Inhale is the lift. Exhale is moving from your center. So it's your core muscles rotating your body around. And then you inhale, core muscles rotating you out of the twist. Exhale, going back into the twist. Inhale, rotating out. This time we're going to hold. Exhale, rotating to the left. Keep gently lifting through the top of your head, gently lifting the rib cage up, just this minuscule amount, right? Not just the front of your ribs, the back of your rib cage too, okay? Because we don't want to do a back bend here. We want to create length. Keep your thighs rotated towards each other, like you're squeezing things together with your thighs. Keep breathing. So it's harder to breathe in a twist. So find the twist that can still allow the breath to come here. So there's a lot of work going on here. There's work in the hips. There's work in the spine. Good. On your next inhale, unwind and uncross. Both feet next to each other on the floor. Thighs next to each other. Nice tall spine. Don't you just want to do a forward fold right now? That's all we want to do. We're almost there to get to do it, but we have to do it nice. You got to twist to the other side. So you can keep your feet just like this together, or you can cross the right ankle over the left, keeping those thighs together, or right thigh over left. So left hand on right thigh, cross the midline with that. And then take your right hand behind you, find your chair somewhere back there. Inhale, lift, right? Rib cage moves up, spine moves up. Exhale, move from the center. Feel your core rotating, your rib cage and your spine around. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, rotate back in. Be nice to yourself. Inhale, unwind. And exhale, rotate back in. We're going to hold this twist. So your thighs are still rotating towards each other or gently squeezing together. You're still lifting up the spine, creating space, not only in the front, not only lifting up the front ribs, but lifting up the back ribs too. Keep breathing. Lovely. And on your next inhale, unwind. Uncross. Get those feet hip distance apart. And we're going to start to move the spine in the forward flexion, but in a gentle way. Yes, exactly. That's what we're doing. Because isn't that what you want to do? Right? Because you haven't forward flexed that spine the whole time. So we're going to do this rocking. So you're rocking onto the back of your pelvic bowl. The heart moves in a little bit. Ooh, there's that lumbar spine. And then rolling forward and back. Maybe tucking the tailbone a little bit more. Be nice to yourself. I'm turning to the side so you can see my spine. You don't have to make it a big deal movement, but now you can round your spine. But you're doing it on an exhale, which means you're engaging your core, which means the front of your spine is more supported than just slouching forward and not engaging at all, right? Good. Nice. So rock forward on your, excuse me, on your sit bones. Lift the heart. Bring the hands to the heart. You're going to inhale your arms down, out, and up. You're going to exhale, lead with a nice wide heart as you hinge the hips forward and then gently round the spine. Stay here for one whole breath. Then inhale, root into the feet, arms come out and up, arms come overhead. Exhale, the hands to the heart. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale the arms out and up, lifting. Exhaling, leading with the heart, doing a long spine first and then rounding at the end, taking a full breath. Don't go too far. Inhale, root into the feet and come back up. Exhale the hands to the heart. This last one will be the end. So inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, flowing forward with a long spine and then gently rounding at the end as the core moves into the spine. Take a full breath here. Inhale the arms out and up. You're gathering all the benefits of your practice. Exhale the hands to your heart and stay right here, bringing the practice down to your heart so you can take your benefits with you. So close your eyes for a moment and bring to mind 1 or 2 things that were helpful for you, for your body, for your entire system. Bring those to mind and breathe with them as you hold that remembrance of what was beneficial for you. Breathe with that. Giving your body a chance to integrate all the benefits of your practice. Before you rush away too quickly, like we were talking at the beginning of class, things get misfiled. We can't always remember them. Thank you so much for joining me on this lovely summer day. Namaste. Well done, yogis. Good job. Good job, everyone at home.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful seeing you again.
It was wonderful to see you too, Valerie. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for being here.